Today we are going to cover a couple tips that I shared at the 2019 User Group Summit in Orlando, Florida during my session called GP User to GP Superhero. The first group of tips that I'm going to show are using macros to move through GP faster than a speeding bullet. I'm going to record several demos, but we'll make these separate videos for you so you can come back and look at these separately. If you've missed any of the other videos, you can check out our YouTube channel to see these other demos as well. The first demo is going to be using a macro to autofill information on the bank transfer window. So the scenario for this would be, let's say that you have to transfer money between your operating account and the payroll account, and you do that a lot. So what we're going to do is create a macro to fill in the information so that all you have to do is change the dollar amount and then review and post. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the window. So I'll look at the window first to show you what it looks like to do this manually. We just go into the bank transfer window. And in here, what we would need is the two bank accounts, and then we'll put the amount. You can put a reference if you want, and then the date information. What I'm going to do is autofill that information and automatically get that window to open. So the first tip I want to make sure you do if you're ever doing any macros is first close all your windows. Make sure that nothing extra is open. Now what we're going to do is start recording the macro. You can use a keyboard shortcut for this. The keyboard shortcut is, I'll show you, we're going to get to it, Tools, Macro, and Record. It says Alt F8. So you could hit Alt F8 and it'll bypass having to do all that navigation. So we're going to go ahead and do Alt F8 just to show you what that looks like. And that just opens up the save window. Now, I created a folder on my desktop. If I was in a situation where other people were going to use these macros, I would want to save these into a shared location that they'd have access to. So what we're going to do is call this bank transfer or payroll transfer. Okay, once I type in the name and I hit save, it's going to start recording everything you do. I always make a joke that it turns on the camera on your computer so they can see you, but definitely it does not use your camera on your computer. It doesn't use any audio. It's just going to record anything you're clicking. So I'm going to go ahead and do some clicking. Now, when I'm doing a macro, I recommend that you use the navigation that's off of the traditional menu bar. I don't use the side navigation or shortcuts because if I do that, someone else might want to use this macro and they won't have those shortcuts. So we want this to work for more people. So I'm going to hit Transactions, Financial, and Bank Transfers. Now the cool thing about this is I can actually ignore the date because the date will automatically fill in this window based on my user date. So I'm just going to call this a payroll transfer. And then what I'm going to do down here is put in my bank ID. And I'm not going to put in an amount. Now, if my payroll amount was the same each week, I should put that a dollar amount in. If I always transfer $50,000, I'd put in $50,000. But in this case, the dollar amount changes each week, so I'm just going to put in this. Now I do get distribution references, so I could say to the distribution references, I could say transfer from operating, transfer from Uptown Trust. I could put that if I want. It's optional. Now at this point, I'm done with everything I want to do, and I'm not including posting and I'm not including the dollar amount. I just want the window to get to this point. Now what I'm going to do is hit Tools, Macro, and Stop Record. Now at this point the macro is done being written. I'm going to clear this window. And I'm going to change my user date because I want you to see what happens. I just clicked the date in the bottom left corner. And I'm just going to say, and now my test company has a future date in there. We're just going to say it's 05/15 just to give you a different date. I'm going to right click on the sidebar here. And I'm on the home page, you'll notice, and I'm going to say Add and Add Macro. I'm going to browse. I'm going to find that payroll transfer, the one I just did, and I'm going to hit Open. And then I'm going to type in here payroll transfer. Oops, I have to do a lookup again. I accidentally typed over there. And we'll type in payroll transfer. Now, I don't have to set a keyboard shortcut, but I'm going to assign one just to show you what that does. Now, if I come in here and I do that, I'm going to put that at the beginning. It's not required, but it makes it easy. You'll see the other ones that I've done in the past. Hit add and done. Now, I could come over and just click right here, or I can hit the F6 on my keyboard because I made that the keyboard shortcut. It automatically opens. You'll notice that it oh, I didn't tab off of that. That's why I didn't save that, that typing in there. So now I've got my description in there. I can type in my amount. And then I could just hit post and I'd be done. So it's very, very easy to use a macro to open a specific window, and that's how you do it.